The Nightbeat starts right now.
Parts of downtown and near downtown San Antonio serving as an apparent training ground for the military for a big chunk of this week. The expanded efforts the city is talking about, and these notices that have some neighbors upset tonight.
Also, we're talking school safety, what it means for the city of Uvalde and districts right here in San Antonio, and the desk that's designed to protect students. Our team coverage coming up.
And were you lucky today? Some people saw rain in San Antonio. One of our viewers even captured this rainbow when we could see the next chance of rain coming up. But first, simulated gunfire, the sound of helicopters. Tonight and over the next few evenings, you might see or hear what sounds like an invasion in downtown San Antonio.
This is all part of a series of military training exercises. The city says the overnight training is going to continue through Friday in the overnight hours. Now, some neighbors got some notices on their doors. That notice right there. Yeah,
the night team's John Paul Baraja spoke with some of those neighbors to see what they think about all this.
Low-flying helicopters, simulated gunfire, and controlled explosions. The city of San Antonio says people near downtown could hear all of it this week during U.S. Army training exercises.
You know, they have to train for every contingency. And, you know, you can't just do everything at Camp Bullis. You know, you have to practice for urban situations.
Residents who live close to designated training locations receive door-to-door notices like this of what is to be expected. But some had mixed opinions.
This is an old neighborhood. You know, we have a lot of older people here. And, you know, it's bad enough that they're frightened. If it starts sounding like a war zone, can you imagine?
According to the city, the training that starts tonight will run through Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. That includes training in the air and on the ground, close quarter combat, and the breaching of structures in a realistic environment. Residents may be able to hear it, but SAPD says they shouldn't be affected by it.
As if we didn't have enough going on downtown. Oh, wow. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk to my police officer, my safety officer, and ask him.
The city explained the exercises offer soldiers a chance to train in different environments and get new experiences.
It's also kind of nice to know, you know, what they're up to.
Now, SAPD and the city did not release the exact locations of these training exercises to prevent any possible distractions. But just a few minutes before showtime, and actually right now, we're actually hearing some of the explosions, or what sounds like to be explosions and helicopters. We're at Alamo Stadium near Trinity University. Multiple explosions as well, as they felt like the helicopters were right on top of them. Again, this is something that you're going to be likely hearing over the next several days. Through Friday, the trainings are scheduled to go from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. So make sure to tell your friends, spread this word of mouth. Friends, family, let them know that these things are going to be happening and taking place. Try and prevent any panic or startling people. But again, all these training exercises have already kicked off and will be expected to continue throughout the rest of the week. John Barajas, KSAT.
All right, I want to apologize for John Paul's audio there. He cut out a little bit, but again, this is the exercises are going through Friday. It was earlier thought it would just be tonight. They're going through Friday. They've already heard some things over in the Dignity Hills area, and you heard that John Paul was hearing things from Alamo Stadium as well. All right, and let's quickly go to I-10. In case you missed it, I-10 back open tonight. Crews able to clear an 18-wheeler and the flammable liquid it spilled yesterday. Backed up traffic for nearly 24 hours near I-10 in Graytown. Sits just outside 1604. Again, I-10 back open, but at last check, a section of the access road going east is closed from File Road to FM 1518.
Now to our team coverage on school safety. Tonight, parents speaking out after Uvalde School District made changes after the shooting at Robb Elementary.
Tonight's meeting held as an open forum. But the superintendent actually did a presentation about the plans for the district moving forward. The Night Team's Lee Waldman is live tonight. Lee, this meeting focused on safety and staffing accountability, but it's hard to get away from the emotional part of these issues in that community and across the state.
There is absolutely no shortage of emotion at any one of these meetings, especially at these school board meetings when they're talking to those district leaders. Now, so much of tonight's discussion actually centered around the termination of District Police Chief Pete Arredondo, but some were even calling for Mandy Gutierrez, the former principal at Robb Elementary, to also be fired.
Mandy, you brought her back? Adam will not attend this school until she is removed.
Harsh words for Uvalde CISD's new assistant director for special education, Mandy Gutierrez. Anson Bills, a father of 3, including an elementary-age special needs child named Adam, who attended Robb Elementary.
They took the principal and put her in the special education department. No.
Calls for firing didn't stop with Gutierrez. Speakers and the audience demanded Pete Arredondo be fired tonight. Adam Martinez asked the district to do the right thing.
Everybody knows that. That's what we're expecting from y'all, to do the right thing. If it costs you or whatever it costs, you're going to earn our respect by doing that.
Dr. Hal Harrell, the district superintendent, explaining they've offered 3 additional dates for the termination hearing and they're waiting to hear back.
We've got to get this moving forward. We can't keep knocking the ball down the road, to say.
Tonight, we did learn about plans for additional campus security measures like DPS troopers at schools, hundreds of cameras, and fencing. A 4th grader who will attend Flores Elementary is asking for even more.
Ballistic film glass. That could save a lot of lives. It can contact the law enforcement and it could save people from getting shot with bullets.
Dr. Harrell also explained some of the counseling support that will be available for students, families, and staff.
Beginning today and tomorrow as well, elementary campuses began their training with the Bounce Back, which is an evidence-based intervention training.
Now, all of those safety changes we mentioned have cost the district $4.5 million at this point. Tonight, there was also discussion about virtual options for this coming school year. Right now, on the district's website, there is an interest survey. Starting August 10th through the 31st, families can sign up their students to attend schools virtually. Live in Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. School security on the minds of so many districts right now. Today, 3 school districts started their first day of school. Edgewood ISD, Jordanton ISD, and South San ISD, all starting today. We caught up with students at South San High School. They told us how they felt about security following the shooting in Uvalde.
Of course, I'm still a little afraid, but so far there haven't been any incidents that I have heard of from South San, So for right now, I feel secure here.
I know there's always the possibility of something happening, but here at school, I feel for most students, they should feel at ease, at peace here, and it should be their happy place.
In South San, officials say their biggest priority is keeping their students safe. The district has limited the entrances to school campuses. They've added fencing. The district says they've also made sure all classroom and exterior doors will be locked at all times. Some school districts are looking at other tools to protect students. One company even turning school desks into shields.
Right. The night team's Patty Santos continues our team coverage tonight, and she shows the new security devices that schools are using and also tells us how much they cost.
It's not a desk. It's a security device that stops bullets for these children, that's saving these children's lives.
Todd Drummond and his son created the Safe Space Security Desk after the Parkland shooting. It has passed national durability, structural performance, as well as safety and ballistic testing.
Go into the place to hide and then grab a hold and close a rotating ballistic door. That now has finished the cycle for protection.
Drummond has started a nonprofit to help schools cover the nearly $10,000 cost per desk. He says the price tag is based on the materials used, which is proven to stop handgun bullets, but not those of a high-powered rifle. We found a similar product that says it can handle bullets from a high-powered assault-style rifle.
Our tables are 5 or 6 times the size of a police officer's ballistic shield.
First Line Furniture says its desk prices range from $4,200 to $5,400. Several tables used together to protect about 24 students would cost about $11,000 per classroom.
When you grab the handle, flip the top up, it's essentially a 4-foot high by 5-foot long bulletproof wall, literally within seconds.
First Line says it is currently negotiating to equip some schools in New York and Florida. But there are less expensive options on the market. This window shade is designed to hide students from view for as little as $13.
It's supposed to provide complete blackout, any visibility into classrooms or any windows that the shades are installed on.
School Safety Solutions says these shades, which come in different sizes and prices, are its top-selling items. The company also sells different deadbolts and emergency supplies for classrooms.
Parents may just be unaware of the value of something so simple.
School Safety Solutions says these shades are already in some San Antonio area classrooms.
Window shades and bulletproof desks are really just one layer of protection because manufacturers say ideally school districts should be able to keep handguns and assault rifles off school campuses. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
As if they needed another issue, local school districts have another problem. They don't have enough teachers in the classroom. Northside ISD, just one example, it's trying to fill 260 openings for education positions. San Antonio ISD is trying to fill 80 positions, while Northeast ISD is scrambling to get 180 teachers hired. A new survey reveals what's making more teachers leave the classroom. It's the Texas State Teachers Association survey, and it's revealed that 70% of teachers are on the verge of quitting. And they named two things: lingering stress from the pandemic and inadequate pay.
It's still ahead on the Nightbeat. Investigators offering an update on their investigation into a disappearance that ended in death. What we're hearing in the case of Shanna DiMambro.
Also tonight, San Antonio taking on the topic of immigration. We're going to look at tonight's town hall downtown. That story next on the Nightbeat.
Tonight, part of the community came together to discuss immigration. The town hall held at UTSA's downtown campus, the San Antonio migrant tragedy, a major topic of discussion tonight. 53 migrants died in the back of an 18-wheeler more than a month ago. One woman says she wanted to attend to see how she could help fuel change.
Seeing what I, as a member of this community, can do to facilitate the cause and just make sure that every person who comes here seeking a better life has that opportunity and their voice is never silenced.
There were advocates that brought up a complicated and broken legal system that can take years to complete the immigration process. Panelists also spoke about the consequences of crossing into the U.S. without giving themselves up to Border Patrol.
Switching gears now, a child killed, his mother now sentenced after lying to investigators with Child Protective Services. Delaney Chaides is going to serve 5 years in that case, but she could face even more time for the death of her son, James. Baby James, if you remember, disappeared last year. His remains were later found under a mobile home months later. And on the same day of today's sentencing, a grand jury indicted her on several other charges, including serious bodily injury. And if convicted, she could face life in prison.
All right, quick now, a look at what you may have missed in your Nightbeat News Flash. The Comal County Sheriff's Office offering more details into the death investigation of this woman, Shanna Allison DiMambro. Preliminary autopsy results show no obvious signs of trauma, but investigators are still waiting on toxicology results and a final autopsy in the case. DiMambro disappeared from her Spring Branch home last month. She was found 10 days later in a retention pond just 200 feet from her home. Former President Donald Trump says the FBI raided his Florida home, Mar-a-Lago. Investigators say it was related to questions over whether classified information was actually taken to Mar-a-Lago after the president left the White House. Trump was not in Florida at the time of the raid. In a statement, he called the raid unnecessary. Federal law bars the removal of classified documents to unauthorized locations like Mar-a-Lago. Some statutes include a 5-year prison sentence if convicted. And the House is poised to pass a bill that addresses health care costs and climate change. That's what it says anyway. The bill only passed in the Senate after the vice president cast a tie-breaking vote over the weekend. The $740 billion package would make the largest investment in clean energy in U.S. history. It includes tax credits for things like solar panels and electric vehicles. The measure also aims to lower some health insurance premiums and make prescription drugs more affordable for seniors. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
And now we want to take a live look outside. Sky 12 over San Pedro Creek. The outdoor theater right there, 85 degrees right now. It's almost like you wish you could just stay inside the entire day, and now's when you want to go out.
I want to know when we can get some more rain.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I do think we have much better chances later on this week. Now, we did have a few showers today. That was nice. A few showers popped up and even one lingering shower this evening far west of town. But better rain chances by Thursday and Friday. And as for temperatures, most of the next 7 days, the majority will likely be under 100 degrees. We're still at 56 100-degree days so far this year. This is a beautiful sight. This is near Woodlawn Lake Park, and you can see the rain falling from the sky out there in the distance, really not that far away from the point of view here of the photographer. So it was good to see some rainfall. One lingering shower. City of Medina, we're talking Bandera County, moving westward toward Vanderpool. That's falling apart. But everywhere you see the color on the screen indicates where we had some rain that fell today. And these are Doppler radar estimates of how much rain fell. And you take a look at the northeast side of town. Let's go to Kirby, actually, near Seguin Road, and about a half an inch estimated by the Doppler radar. That's just outside of Loop 410 and just north of Wagner High School. Northwest side of town, this green spot right there indicates a radar estimate of a half inch of rain near UTSA, right along I-10 and UTSA Boulevard. So here's what we saw earlier today. Some of those brief downpours coming and going. A little bit of activity elsewhere in the state. Upper level high, the big blue H, it's centered over Utah right now. So due to the clockwise flow around that high, it gives us this northerly flow aloft. In turn, the doors open for some disturbances. And here's one such disturbance we're focusing on over Arkansas. There's another one near Florida that's going to push our way. These are the two that are going to help us out in terms of enhancing the rainfall potential for later this week by Thursday and Friday. But I want to focus on this one in Arkansas. Switching over to the water vapor imagery, you can see it even better. Look at this pinwheel-like swirl, especially early in the morning before it develops storms. You can really see that counterclockwise pinwheel. That's what's going to be heading our way, and it should help develop a few more storms. We're not talking widespread rain, but more numerous in coverage than what we've seen for a while. So about a 30 to 40% chance Thursday and Friday from those disturbances. Today, just shy of 100 degrees, which is actually pretty close to average this time of year. The average high is 97. 85 right now. Dew point, it's around 70, so we're feeling the mugginess. 85 in Uvalde, 83 Kerrville, 85 in Helotes, Converse right now at 83. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 7 a.m., 78 degrees. By noon, we're up to 90. We do it all over again tomorrow. A few pop-up downpours, 10% chance, especially along and east of I-35. Most of us just under 100 tomorrow, right at 100 on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday with those better rain chances, mid-90s at that point before we get back to 100 by Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. Do you long for the days of Chris Bonial, Efren Herrera, even Dan Bailey?
Yeah, you know, and Greg the Leg is looking pretty good right now, too.
Well,
you know, the problem is the kickers they have in camp are not doing well. So what are they going to do? Rush a whole lot of candidates in tomorrow to see what could happen. When we come back, we're talking about kickers galore. The Cowboys training camp in California. We'll give you an update on who's coming to test their legs and the first ever fall practice for the newest high school in San Antonio. Coming up.
Featuring the Brandeis Broncos.
The high school volleyball season tips off tonight, and KSAT 12 Sports is there as a state champion. Brandeis Broncos begin defense of their title against a tough opponent in Big Board Sports. But first,
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Saddled with massive problems in their kicking game, the Dallas Cowboys decided to bring in 4 kickers to work out in Oxnard before they break camp on Wednesday and head to Denver for shared workouts with the Broncos. Among those called in to help to pull the Cowboys kicking game off life support, undrafted free agent John Garibay out of Texas Tech struggling, and Liram Halalahu, the only other option. Dallas will give former Cowboys kicker Brett Maher another chance after his career numbers are 77% on field goals, 96% of extra points. His longest, 63 yards. Maher will be joined by Cole Murphy, the USFL. He made almost 92% of his field goal attempts, 82% of his extra points. His longest, 60. Matt Amendola, J.J. Molson also have been invited as well. So what would it be like for the shared practices with the Broncos on Thursday before facing them in the preseason opener Saturday night?
It'll be good to, get out there against another team. So just get out there against another defensive scheme and, compete against some other guys.
Cowboys face the Broncos Saturday night at 8 p.m. San Antonio time in Denver. Fighting Texas Aggies are the 7th-ranked team in the nation. That's according to the USA Today coaches preseason poll released today. That has Alabama ranked number 1. It's after the Aggies beat Alabama last year in a wild finish, 41-38 at Kyle Field, finished number 4 in the nation in the final Associated Press college football poll. That's the highest they've been ranked in the nation since finishing number 1 in 1939. It also comes after that feud between the Aggies' Jimbo Fisher and Bama's Nick Saban, when Saban accused the Aggies of buying every player in the number 1 ranked recruiting class in the country. Fisher had a few choice words for Saban the next day, calling him everything from despicable to narcissist. They have since buried the hatchet, but all translates into a high level of interest and anticipation. So says Aggie Athletic Director Ross Bjork, addressing the Aggie Club in San Antonio today.
Coming off the number 1 recruiting class, the job that Jimbo's done over the last 4 seasons, just a ton of expectation and excitement, and we really embrace that. We've sold over 50,000 season tickets to the public. We'll sell another 37,000 tickets to our students. So we'll have almost 90,000 season tickets. It just shows the excitement. It shows the power of the 12th man, and people are really, really fired up about 2022.
All right, the Aggies kick off their 2022 season on September the 3rd in Aggieland against Sam Houston at 11 a.m. The UTSA Roadrunners are now less than a month away from kicking off their season on Saturday, September the 3rd at the Alamo Dome against Houston. UTSA is thrilled to have Frank Harris under center once again. Harris is a multiple preseason award watch list after a breakout year in 2021. How is the former Clemens quarterback approaching his role as a team leader this year?
Still the same thing, be a man of integrity, lead by example. Everything I say I have to do myself. And just hold everybody accountable as well as they hold me accountable, and just blessed to be the quarterback for this team.
He holds himself differently, and he's not perfect. Nobody is, so I don't want anybody to say that because he's not. But he's just different. He's very mature. He's an old soul.
All right, volleyball season is underway. Next. We begin our big game coverage previews with the newest high school in San Antonio, Sotomayor, holding their first ever varsity fall practice this afternoon, and KSAT 12 Sports is there. The head coach of the Wildcats, Juan Morales, who helped turn the Holmes Huskies season around in the last 5 years, becomes Sotomayor's first ever head coach for their first ever varsity season.
It's definitely been interesting, coming in here as a junior. We're going to be the very first class. We're the first for everything, so it's just new and amazing to be here.
It's an honor, honestly. Getting to open up a new school, getting to start football for them. It's like new opportunities open up a whole new world.
Yeah, pretty cool. The Wildcats kick off their first season on Friday, August the 26th against Lee at 7 p.m. The high school volleyball season kicks off tonight with the defending Class 6A state champion Brandeis Broncos taking on O'Connor at Northside Sports Gym. First set is back and forth. Sophia Kuhn gets a push shot to fall for an early 1-point Brandeis lead, but the Panthers roar back. Jenna Garza over to Kelly Fording with a thunderous spike down the line, 16-12 O'Connor. Then a few plays later, Jalen Tuiasosopo rises for the big block. O'Connor sweeps the defending champs in the season opener 3-0.
Bar is high, I think as a team that's what we want. We want to have high standards. We want to be able to have that district title again for the 3rd year in a row.
I feel like we're doing really good defense-wise. We're working together, and that's what's working for us the most.
All right, we got much more on KSAT.com because Andrew Seeley was all over the place tonight.
What a matchup.
Right out of the gate.
First game of the volleyball
right
season.
Out of the gate. You got to remember they lost, 10 players for Brandeis, including 2 D1 players. So, yeah, that was fun to watch tonight.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
We're back in 2 minutes.
All right, tomorrow morning, mid-70s for most of us, 75 Hondo, 77 New Braunfels. I think officially in town about 78 degrees at the airport. But by the afternoon, just shy of 100 by a degree or so for most of us. Obviously, a few exceptions. Better rain chances Thursday, Friday at 30%.
Adam, thank you. Good night.